Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today we're going to be taking a look at some mods in Starfield. Some of these are really small and can make a pretty big impact on your game. So before we get into load order and all that good stuff, wanted to start off with showing some mods that I've been really liking so far and that I've been playing the most with. So if you enjoy the video, feel free to leave a like, comment down below if you have any questions, and if you haven't subscribed already, we're going to be taking a look at some more Starfield here on the channel. So thank you so much for watching, but with all that said, let's take a look at some of these mods. First mod we're going to look at is pretty self-explanatory from the title. In the original game, there's a color filter on the game, kind of like how Tritium film works in Fallout 4. Not a bad look, but it does kind of look odd in some spaces. Almost like the brightness and contrast get jacked up just to give that sci-fi look. But with this mod, it removes all that. So the color filter removal, that is basically all that it does. It removes that filter from the game so the natural color of the game can shine through, and the results are pretty crazy. Now in the screenshots on the mod page, it may already be apparent what this does, but the brightness and contrast we looked at in the previous Starfield video, the 5 settings to change, just removing that color filter outright with this mod, it kind of does that work for you if you want to play with mods. Neon's a great place to show this off just because there's a lot of colors, but you can see the kind of brownish tint that the original game has. And then going inside when there's a lot of lights, that kind of bright sci-fi look is showing through. And you can see the difference here with the color filter removed. There are some downsides with this one, but I can also say the same for the original game and that lighting. Sometimes you just see a bunch of like blue when it's supposed to be dark, and it doesn't look all that great depending on your display. But I think overall this mod really shows how good some of the environments are in the game, because all that color and design really shows through when it was kind of obscured by that filter. So what do you all think about this one? I know you've probably seen this before if you're looking around on YouTube at mods for Starfield, but I wanted to take a look at this one and show some more examples. I think this mod is also really nice for the interior environments as well. It's a lot easier to see. It's definitely worth checking out if you didn't really like the colors in the game. So food and drink in Starfield, it was just kind of around before the May update. They added the sustenance feature, and this mod actually aims to improve that even more. So it actually changes some of the values and things that are given to the benefits and negatives of food. So if you have this option on in your gameplay options, the sustenance option, you'll be able to see different foods, and they'll give you different buffs and things depending on what you're eating or drinking. For example, the Terra Brew coffee now actually has some different values attached to it, and then when you go and eat like fancy food or something, you'll see the same thing. And as far as the hydration and feeding, the 15-minute, 30-minute timer, that can change depending on the food, but then it can also go as high as 45 minutes. Now, if you don't use that gameplay feature with the food, then it's not necessary to download and install this one, but with the values that are already there in the game, this does provide a little bit more of an immersive feel to some of the food and drink. So this video seems like a pretty self-explanatory mod list at this point. This next one is show power name on HUD. I know it's a pretty radical concept, but it's actually not something that was in the game. So whenever you use a power, you just weren't really sure which one you had equipped. And I say that if you've been away from the game for a while, because generally when you're playing and you pick the power, you know which one you're using, and you can always press the menu button and see the power in the top of the screen. This model is going to change that by adding the power in the bottom right, just above your health. And you go from something like this to this. And it's not a drastic change. It does make a nice difference, and it looks nice in there in blue. So to go along with that one, I wanted to have a mod that actually buffed one of the powers that I really like. We have the proper gravity wave power, and what this does is it makes it like Fusro Da from Skyrim. So whenever you actually hit somebody with this thing, they will go flying, and it's even more funny in a low grav environment because they'll just kind of float away, and then you can kind of shoot them as they float away. Not exactly groundbreaking, pardon my pun, but a welcome change because ragdolls in video games are always fun. Now in that previous section you probably saw that there were some blood splatters and blood stains in the game. With every Bethesda game there has to be a blood mod by Definer. So we have the enhanced blood textures now for Starfield. Now in the game that shipped, whenever you'd take a swipe at somebody or shot somebody, it was like you were shooting a dummy, which was fine. I mean, it wasn't like these characters are real, it's a video game, nothing's real. There is something to be said for that immersiveness that like Fallout or Skyrim had when you actually attacked an NPC. Definitely on the list of mods, it doesn't add a ton to the game, but it does up the immersiveness just a little bit more. With some of the weaponry you end up getting in the game, it seemed a little weird that everything was a little clean. And that's going to do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Just wanted to put something together to show some low-cost mods to actually get going if you're just starting out with modding. Maybe you don't want something that changes a lot of gameplay options that you're not really sure of. If you beat the game, or maybe you come back and start playing again, you just want to up the vanilla experience already, so these mods should help you get there. These are all mods that'll be in my load order whenever I make that video, just to give you an idea of some of the things that I usually tend to go for, and then we will be looking at other mods, of course. Thanks so much for watching. Once again, if you guys have any questions about anything in this video, feel free to leave those down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.